My wife secretly gave away our savings. Then I found out where the money went. When I checked our savings account that morning, I thought there had been a mistake. Over $85,000 was gone. Not invested, not transferred into another account, just gone. At first, I assumed we had been hacked. I called the bank immediately. But after 20 minutes on the phone, the representative said something that made my stomach drop. The withdrawals were legitimate. Every transaction had been authorized by my wife, the woman I trusted for 12 years, the woman who swore we were saving for our daughter's future. And when I finally discovered where the money went, I honestly didn't know whether to feel angry, betrayed, or heartbroken. My name is Jason. I'm 41 years old. I've been married to my wife, Rachel, for 12 years. For most of our marriage, things were good. Not perfect, but good. We had a daughter named Lily, a comfortable home, stable jobs, and most importantly, shared goals. One of those goals was financial security. Every month, we put money into a joint savings account. Vacations came second. New cars came second. Luxury purchases came second. We always prioritized the future. By the time this story happened, we had saved nearly $100,000. Most of it was intended for emergencies, college expenses, and long-term investments. Rachel always seemed committed to that plan. That's why what happened next felt impossible. One Saturday morning, I logged into our banking app. I was preparing our monthly budget. Everything seemed normal at first. Then I noticed the balance. I refreshed the page. Twice, 3 times. Still the same number. The account was missing more than $80,000. My first thought was fraud. My second thought was identity theft. Neither was correct. The bank confirmed every withdrawal, every transfer, every authorization. All of them had Rachel's digital approval. I sat there staring at my phone, trying to convince myself there had to be a logical explanation. Maybe she'd moved the money temporarily. Maybe she'd forgotten to tell me about an investment. Maybe there was some misunderstanding. So I waited until she got home, and then I asked. At first, Rachel froze. That alone told me everything. People don't react like that when they have a simple explanation. I asked where the money went. She avoided eye contact. I asked again. Still no answer. Then finally she said, "It's complicated." Those are never reassuring words. Eventually, pieces of the story started coming out. Over the previous 2 years, Rachel had been secretly sending money to someone. Not once, not twice, dozens of times. Small amounts at first, then larger amounts, then enormous amounts. Thousands, then tens of thousands. My heart was racing. The obvious fear entered my mind. Was there another man? Was she hiding a second life? What could possibly require that much money? Then she told me, and somehow the truth was even worse. The money had gone to her younger brother, Eric. Now, Eric had always been a disaster, at least financially. He jumped from job to job, started businesses that failed, borrowed money he never repaid, made promises he never kept. Everyone in the family knew this, including Rachel, but apparently she believed things would eventually improve. Every time Eric got into trouble, he called her. Every time. And every time she rescued him. At first it was a few $100s, then a few thousand, then much more. She told herself it was temporary. She told herself family helps family. She told herself he'd pay it back. He never did. Instead, the requests kept getting bigger, and Rachel kept saying yes, without telling me. The money wasn't actually the biggest issue. The betrayal was. Marriage depends on trust, and trust depends on honesty. If she'd come to me and said, "My brother is struggling," we could have discussed it. Maybe we would have helped, maybe we wouldn't. But at least it would have been our decision, together. Instead, she spent years lying, not directly, but through omission. Every family vacation we postponed, every purchase we delayed, every financial sacrifice we made. She already knew the truth, and she never told me. The more details emerged, the worse it got. Eric wasn't using the money for emergencies. He wasn't paying medical bills. He wasn't feeding his children. Much of the money had gone toward gambling, luxury purchases, and failed business schemes. I couldn't believe it. We had sacrificed our future to fund his irresponsibility. A week later, I insisted on a meeting. Rachel, Eric, and me. No more secrets, no more excuses. The moment the conversation started, Eric became defensive. He claimed he'd always intended to repay everything. The problem? He couldn't explain how, or when, or with what money. Then came the part that shocked me most. He genuinely believed he hadn't done anything wrong because Rachel had always said yes. In his mind, that meant permission. That meant approval. That meant there were no consequences. For the first time, I realized the problem wasn't just Eric. It was the entire system around him. For years, people had protected him from failure, so he never learned responsibility. Every mistake became someone else's burden, usually Rachel's, and now ours. After that meeting, I made a decision. No more money. Not $1. No loans. No gifts. No emergency transfers. Nothing. Eric was furious. Some relatives called me heartless. Others accused me of destroying family relationships. But I didn't care, because family support should never become financial exploitation. There's a difference, and somewhere along the way, people forgot that. Rachel eventually agreed. Not immediately, but eventually, for the first time, she stopped rescuing him. And surprisingly, something happened. Eric got a job, a real one, then another. Slowly, he started solving his own problems, something he should have been doing years earlier. It's been 3 years since all of this happened. Our marriage survived, but rebuilding trust took a long time, longer than either of us expected. The savings account took years to recover too. But the biggest lesson wasn't about money, it was about boundaries. Because sometimes helping someone isn't actually helping them. Sometimes you're just delaying the moment they finally have to take responsibility for their own life. And in our case, that lesson cost us $85,000 to learn.